Try before we die, everybody. Welcome back to the Whiskey Review Show, where we don't know what we're drinking, but we will tell you what we're thinking. Hello, Malcolm.
How's it going there, Cole?
It's good. Excited to see what we're going to drink today.
Always excited.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I hope we get a bottle that's still available out there for folks who are deciding if they're going to get that bottle or not. But I often dislike that bottle that's just not available and rare.
I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really matter what the bottle is.
Yeah, you gotta work on that. You gotta shift.
You know,
need that.
it's look at the bar around you.
Yeah.
Look at it.
It's nice. All right, ready? What do you think? Right behind me, or am I moving?
203.
203. You're hoping. 158.
158.
That's going to put me on the back side because we know we're at 148 behind you. We'll see everybody over there. Last bottle on the top shelf. Bottle 158. You guys made it over to the backside. Bottle 158. I promised you. Last bottle, top shelf, 10 across. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This brings us to a Shieldaig. This is a Speyside. This is a 12-year-old. You might be wondering, is that a distillery? It's a good question. Shieldaig, to my understanding, is a private labeler who purchases casks, in this case from the Speyside region, and labels them themselves. So this may be an unknown distillery. We'll do a little more research, well, the team will, and we'll see everybody back at the bar for this Speyside Shieldaig release at 12 years old.
Try before we die with a bearded man and a British guy.
Hey, Mel.
What's up? What did you have there this time round?
Got a bottle of whiskey. Single malt Scotch, in fact. So this is the Shieldaig. So this is a 12-year Speyside. Have you heard of this distillery?
No.
Right. So this is a family firm, to the best of my knowledge, that sort of purchases. I've seen some of these labels with Isla as well, and Highland as well. So this is a private labeler. Right. So they've purchased some Speyside casks, aged at 12 years. But we have, well, why don't we just get it open, and we'll talk a little bit more. I purchased this bottle at a Total Wine in Massachusetts.
All right.
And I got it actually with my father-in-law, Dave, who passed away in 2019. So that lets us know here that this bottle's been here for 4 or 5 years. I actually just finished an 18-year-old old label that never made it on the show, but it was good. Friction in life?
Low but lively.
Low but lively.
But not prolonged.
Okay. Let's see, it's a traditional bottle shape. Let's see if we get any gurgle. Let's get these capped up. So just in terms of notes, taking its name from the Old Norse Shieldaig, the Loch of Herring, is a truly wild and beautiful place. The sharp fragrance of pine-studded islands, the flash of silver herring in the dark waters of the loch, the shawls of mist around the shoulders of the nearby Torridon Hills. Raise a glass of Shieldaig, and you'll experience a reflection of this epic landscape in the complex yet balanced flavors of this fine single malt Scotch whisky. The fishermen, traders, and travelers who have inhabited Shieldaig, the Loch of the Herring, over the centuries have rightly considered themselves lucky in life. A taste of this good fortune can still be enjoyed today with every measure of Shieldaig. All right, so what I'm picking up on this, everybody, is this Shieldaig, maybe this is the name of the loch. The Loch of Herring, right? And so herring, to my knowledge, is a sea fish, an ocean fish. So some of the lochs have passageways, right? In fact, that's one of the ideas about Loch Ness. Was there an underwater passage for the sea creature to come in and out? And that's why it's never spotted. Or there are pictures and some moving pictures, some video as well. So I've only ever had an 18-year variety of this, different labeling, much older, release, so I really don't know what we're
I
going
have
to expect.
no idea. The only thing we're saying is the fact that it's a Speyside.
Yeah.
We know it's going to be some sort of light, fruity, perhaps, freaking.
Right, if it follows that tradition
Correct.
of Speysides. Well, let's talk a little bit about what color we're seeing here. I feel we're in a medium gold.
I would say just an amber.
Yeah,
I mean, like I say, the lights in here.
a light amber.
A light amber.
Oh, we found this thing the other day. Is it still here? It is.
I'll give you your light gold.
Something, right? So we're in this, well, medium gold, light amber. This certainly isn't a dark amber.
No.
We've got some very dark amber maple syrup upstairs right now in a filter from sugaring season here in southern New Hampshire. There's a little bit of richness in this color.
I have a hard time seeing the richness.
Yep. All right. So we see what it smells like.
Let's do this.
All right. Floral.
Yep.
It really comes across as a Speyside.
And maybe a sherry cask.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Just gonna see if there's anything in the book about this. GLM.
But definitely floral notes.
Yeah. Again, nothing in the book. Nothing in the book. Because my belief is this is not a distillery, but rather a label. All right, so I have floral. You're picking up something maybe sweet.
Correct.
That's giving you this thought about the maybe a sherry cask. I think I might lean towards the bourbon cask and the sweetness that might come from there. Some of that.
And there's something else there.
Maybe a candied pear.
Something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a candied tree fruit, a pear. Boy, it's not a green apple.
Yeah, it's something there, but I can't pick it out.
I don't feel like it's a pit fruit.
Maybe raisin?
Interesting. Well, maybe a taste will give us more guidance. Let's just see what we're up against. 40% ABV. Okay, the minimum. Interestingly enough, there was a little bit of mouthfeel. If some whiskeys will be 0 oily, this is probably registering a 1 or a 2 with oily for me. Very smooth. I was just going to say unremarkable finish, but really what I want to say, it's a very light, quick finish. All the flavors seem to be on the front side for me.
Right, so we are completely in disagreement here.
This has happened to us before.
Because I don't feel like I got much off the front end. However, I've got a little bit of heat, and the taste is in the back. And I think you're right. It may be a bourbon casking.
Yeah.
Because I've got that nutty vanilla sort of flavoring at the back, but I didn't really get that.
Take a little sip, hold it in the front of your mouth, and let it rest there. That's where I'm picking up. Again, I'm still landing on some pear in the front. It's light, it's fragrant, it's floral. I understand what you talk about with this little bit of spiciness traveling down, but it just ends so quickly.
Okay, that did change things a little bit. It does end very quickly.
Yep.
Either or. If
Yep.
it's front back,
Yep.
it's over fairly quickly.
This is a Speyside.
It is.
In a very classic sense. this is registering as a Speyside, with no fooling around with finishing casks. In my opinion, this probably spent its life, in my opinion, entirely in a bourbon cask, not transferred to other casks, things along those lines.
And the one thing I will say, I think I enjoyed this, which is something that I've never really thought about, but I actually enjoyed this more when I kept it in the front of my mouth than when I took it back into the back of my mouth.
I've been doing that a lot more on these reviews and tastings, is letting it sit and to see what develops there. A lot of your taste buds are right there.
Because there was a lot more flavor.
Yeah.
A lot more of that floral presence.
Right.
A lot more of that sweetness on the front side, whereas on the back side, I got that little bit of heat.
Yep.
Took me out on my stride because I wasn't quite ready for it.
Yep.
And I didn't have the ability to pick out any sort of real standout flavors.
In the end, on the back.
When I took it right in the back. Because I held it right in the back.
It ends. Yeah.
So, and that was interesting because it does taste better when you keep it in the front.
Yeah, it seems, again, I feel like it's front forward with the flavors, ends very quickly in the back. It is classic is such a strange word. It is a very solid example of a traditional Speyside single malt, in my opinion.
Very mellow.
Yeah, very mellow. Yep.
Very mellow.
All right. Well, the Shieldaig 12-year-old coming in at 40%. My belief, this is just private labeling. They've grabbed a cask from somebody.
Now,
if you're going to hazard a guess, is that what you were going to ask? Yeah. What distillery in the Speyside region might this be coming from? I'm going to tell you my guess.
I don't think I could do that type of guess.
I'm wondering if we're landing somewhere in a Glenmorangie.
So I'm not gonna even hazard a guess here.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's enough
My
there.
guess.
But based on the fact that because we've had a couple of Glenmorangies.
Yeah.
And the way they have approached it in this way, they've made it smooth, palatable, and not overly complex.
Yeah.
That would be a fairly decent guess.
Yep. Well, Glenmorangies are simple.
Yep.
And that's not a criticism. They're lunchtime whiskeys. As you see this episode, you'll see TBWD facts saying we are completely wrong. This is a distillery. It's a Madeira cask finish. We have no idea what we're talking about, and we're always happy to be wrong. But again, we don't know what we're drinking, but we'll tell you what we're thinking. All right. Well, let's see what the crew has in store for us as we sign off this episode of Try Before We Die. All right. There is so much truth to this.
Especially the way we've lived our lives.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Right. Okay. So here's to your liver. May it last as long as you live.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. So let's not dig into what it could be, and let's just take a second and just talk about what it is. It's pleasant. It's light. It's floral.
Oh, I didn't realize the legs on it.
Right. I felt like it had a little bit of that mouthfeel, a little bit of that oil, and I see it now right there.
Back it up.
Is enjoyable. This is like a Glenmorangie. I absolutely believe this to be an afternoon whiskey.
Yes.
Right. A before dinner drink.
Yep.
Right.
Maybe.
It's not going to overpower what's coming up
with
next.
lunch.
Yeah, absolutely. You could drink this with a salad. Right. I'm having no struggle with it. I'm having no burn. It's not very spicy at all.
It would be another one that you could introduce someone to.
Yep, and it's front forward with all its flavors.
And it's interesting that change of where you position the drink changes the approach of how you taste it.
This whiskey you hold in the front of your mouth.
Without a doubt.
Yep.